Right now, we want to turn to big developments over the last 24 hours in the race for City Hall here in Buffalo. We're now getting a look at the ballot for November, and it does not include the name of Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown. Only India Walton is in the mayor column. As you can see right there, she won the Democratic primary. Brown initially won some court rulings to get his name on an independent line, but appeals courts overturned that yesterday, so he is now back to running a write-in campaign. Jeff Kelly joins us right now. He is a reporter with our nonprofit partners at Investigative Post and is covering this race as closely as anybody out there. Jeff, it's good to see you. I want to start here by listening to something that India Walton told our Steve Brown earlier today.
We're going to run a strong campaign. We're going to continue to aggressively fundraise. We're going to continue to run a really tight field game and knock on all the doors and talk to the voters. And I think that we're going to come out victorious on November 2nd.
I have to follow up. There's no impact on what happened yesterday to the race? Zero?
It doesn't change our strategy.
It doesn't change our strategy, she said. You have to think, though, that it really does change the race, Jeff. How big of a difference does this make as we look to November?
Well, it makes a big difference just because it's over. I mean, it's a month to the day since Byron Brown submitted this nominating petition. It's taken a month for the courts to settle what a lot of observers seem to understand from the get-go, which is that this was a futile effort. And, so now the campaigns can, at least in theory, move on to more substantive, pursuits like talking about how to govern the city, for example.
Yeah, the legal fight, of course, India Walton ended up winning, but it did cost her quite a bit of money, and she's already at a money disadvantage against the mayor. I know that you keep track of this like nobody else. So what kind of impact are we seeing in terms of how much they have in the war chest?
Well, it seems to have made an impact already. All that time and money, as you say, spent on lawyers. We won't know for sure how both campaigns are doing on fundraising and spending for a few weeks when the next campaign finance disclosure forms come out. But we do know that the mayor has released 2 TV commercials already, and those are beginning to air. The Walton campaign says that they will not hit the airwaves until October, and that indicates to us that maybe they're not hitting their fundraising goals, or perhaps that this legal fight drained some resources that could have been spent on voter outreach.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting as we get toward November, seeing how much of a factor these outside groups are too, how much money they're willing to come in and spend. Finally, though, is there any concern among, I guess, either campaigns about all the back and forth here and leading to voter confusion? I mean, you had the mayor knocked off the ballot. Then he started this write-in campaign. Then he went to court and won and was back on the ballot, and then lost in the appeal and is now off the ballot. I imagine
Right.
that they're going to have quite the messaging strategy to try to inform people on how this is all going to work.
But, I think there might be confusion if the election were to be held tomorrow. I think it would be a mess, But, when you think about it, for 6 weeks this summer, Byron Brown had nothing but a write-in campaign, and for the next 6 weeks, he'll have nothing but a write-in campaign. So I imagine he'll get the message out. You got to write my name in because it's not going to be on the ballot.
Yeah, and interesting for us to be able to show people what that ballot is going to look like, and you only see India Walton's name on there. Jeff Kelly is a reporter with our nonprofit partners at Investigative Post. Make sure you check out, Jeff, I think you're reporting on this race almost every single day. And even if you don't live in the city of Buffalo, I mean, this impacts our entire region. It's very important. So thanks for helping us understand it.
It's my pleasure.